What's up, guys? I just want to share something with you. That happened to me yesterday when I went into Walmart. Um, I live in the South. I live in Florida, but I can honestly say, that up until yesterday, I've never really experienced any. Excuse me. I never really experienced any blatant racism. You know, I've never been followed around the store or anything like that. Nor had any extra security measures, taken out on me just because I was an African American. But but yesterday, it really happened, and it caught me off guard, and I was really surprised. I was in Walmart, and they have the self checkouts now, because I guess it's to save time, and I personally like going to them because sometimes I really don't feel like having to have a conversation with the cashier, and some of them at Walmart are a little over friendly, how you doing, and they want to get all in your business and talk to you about, talk to you about stuff, which is nothing wrong with that. I just didn't feel like being a people person. I just wanted to go in, get the stuff because it was my turn to cook dinner for the family, and just come out. So going in, I'm buying, getting everything together. I'm paying with cash. So I go to the self checkout. The ones there are a total of 4 on each side. The ones towards the front only accept credit payments. Since I had cash, I would have to use the ones towards the back. So I stopped at the ones towards the back. It was an old white lady. She comes up to me and she goes, "Sir, I'm going to need you to move up to the front." And it's kind of I was like, "Excuse me." She was like, "I'm going to need you to move up to this podium up here to the front, to this, checkout up to the front." I'm like, "Well, ma'am, how am I going to make my purchases if I do that? Because, it only, those only accept credit. I'm paying with cash. These are the cash machines back here." She was like, and then she goes, well, I'll just suspend your transaction and bring it up to the front, which is something they never do. Because they don't want to set a precedent of people with cash going to the credit machines and them having to come all the way back, go and put in the numbers and and print out the receipt and then come up and ring it up at, basically ring it up at the podium. So, so I just kind of obliged, because, I don't know, because I guess she was older, but I noticed that, she kind of had she kind of had a real nasty attitude with it. But I really didn't think anything of it. I just kind of brushed it off, trying to be mature about the situation. So, so I'm ringing everything up, and I stopped. I had 2 items left. It was like a box cake and some icing. So I had 2 items left, and there was, I think, the chicken was supposed to be like $10, but it rung up for 15. So which was, I thought I grabbed the $10 pack, but I obviously grabbed the $15 pack. So I opened up my wallet, kind of make sure I had enough cash with me, to complete the purchase. So while I'm going over my money in my wallet, the lady, she comes up and she walks right up on me. She goes, "Excuse me, sir, are you gonna buy these things?" And I was like, "Excuse me?" She was like, "Why are they still in the cart?" She's like, "Why are they still in the cart? You have to ring these things up." I said, "Miss, I'm going through my wallet to make sure my money is right, so I can complete the transaction. Is that okay with you?" And then she was like, "Yeah," but then she doesn't leave. She stands there to make sure I ring it up, and and that was when I kind of realized that, she's being a bitch because I'm black. I really don't like to curse like that, and and women, please don't take offense. I don't support talking to women in a derogatory manner, calling them out of their name. But I just could not believe it. The first thing that popped into my head was, and it's so old, I just couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. It was "Be nice, is you stupid." I don't know how many of you are familiar with Lil Wayne, but for those of you Caucasian Americans that are watching that don't know what a B-night is, it's a African American colloquialism that was coined by Lil Wayne in probably like the mid-90s, something like that. Probably like 95, 96. I think that qualifies as the mid-90s, and it basically means a stupid ass bitch. Again, please don't take offense to that. So she stands over me. She makes sure, I ring everything up. Now I'd already spent about, like $35. So I don't think I wouldn't want to rip Walmart off, for like a 98 cent box cake and a $2 thing of icing. But it's like, to me, it just goes to show that that you can see the best and the worst of people, in one day. Because I was just gonna leave, because I was kind of pissed. And I was like, some said, no, you need to go tell the manager. So I went. I asked to speak to the manager. Assistant manager came over, who was a white woman, and I totally didn't think that she was going to take me seriously. I just already knew it was going to be like, because a lot of times when you try to tell a white person about racism you've experienced with another white person, even though I've never personally experienced myself, but I've seen people try, and it just seems like, they kind of brush you off, like you just blowing it out of proportion or whatever. But then when I was explaining to her what happened, she was totally supportive, and she knew exactly who I was talking about. And come to find out, that the lady had a lot of complaints from other customers, and not just black customers, from Asian customers and Hispanic customers. Like she just treats minorities like crap. When they come to the self checkouts, and it was my complaint was like her fourth complaint. So she said Walmart has a policy, you just can't fire someone. So she got the 3 customer complaints. Mine was the 4th, which resulted in her being coached. This is, the lady explaining the policies to me at the store. It resulted in her being coached. And if she gets one more complaint after this, then she's going to be fired. It really isn't what I wanted. I think she should have lost her job, but the lady was like, for legal reasons, just can't fire her because they could potentially be sued. But there are certain avenues they have to take, which I can totally understand. Because there's a lot of corporate bureaucracy. But it just goes to show, that it's real easy to write all people off and say, well, all white people are like this and all white people are like that, and, to base negative treatment, to basically like use the negative treatment you receive from one person and kind of paste it onto everybody, paste it onto everybody else of the same race. Because black people, we don't like when white people do us like that. And white people, because a lot of white people doing white people, you shouldn't. Just because, you got beat up by somebody that was black, when you were in the 3rd grade, you're still mad about it. Doesn't mean that we're all like that. It's time. And black people, just because, you may have been treated in a racist manner by somebody white, doesn't mean that all white people are like that. Because the assistant manager was white, and she took her to the back immediately and wrote her up. I didn't see her getting written up, but she was very stern when she asked her to follow her. So I'm assuming that she made good on her promise of reprimanding her. But that's just what I wanted to say. It was really weird because I've never been treated that way in my whole life.